Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of X4, the beginner's guide for 4.0, and today we're going to be looking at trying to improve on our trading. Now this is going to start going into the realms of creating our own station for production. To do that though, we need to first get the blueprints, so I'm going to show you how to do that and show you the reason why we want to start getting into the production side of things rather than what we're doing at the moment, which there's nothing wrong with what we're doing. We can expand on this, we can get more ships going and whatnot, but ultimately you're going to start running out of raw resources like the ore that we've got. So we need to look for someone that has a bigger ore capacity, which normally is in a sector called the Reach here. Nice big area here. So we're definitely going to be checking this out in a short while just to see if the ore capacity in this area here is good. If it is, we're going to start setting our production up in this area here. And then we're going to start seeing some profit like this. Now this is the trader that's currently going back and forward from our... Where are you? There you go. Refinery. Ore refinery there. Over to the hull parts over there. And you can see here, it's sometimes it's even earning 185,000, but roughly you're earning about 120k. And it's roughly every 7 or 8 minutes. If we then go to our large miner, you'll see that every 5, let's have a look, 10 minutes, 10, 16, 22. So again, every 6 to 8 minutes, you're getting 52,000. So actually, that's making almost twice the profit. Imagine if we weren't spending any money whatsoever on buying the refined metals and then selling them. We're going to make even more money because obviously these here are making a fortune. That's a lot of money.
Hello.
But they are ultimately purchasing and using our funds. So we need to start looking at getting away from that. And I'm kind of stood in somebody there. Let's move out of the way. There we go. Right, so that's what we need to start doing. So I've headed on over to the representatives for Argon, because Argon is obviously the sector we're in. So it's easy to work with them because we're getting reputation with them. And the reason why I know this has a representative on is this little icon here above. It doesn't get any bigger, but this icon here got like, well, to me it looks like it's got the hands up, but I think it's like it's supposed to be a crown or something on it. The other one here next to it indicates that we're actually on board the station. So the orange one is us. And this blue one here tells us that there's a faction representative. If you wasn't sure of that, if you remember, there is a faction representative there. Person of interest, which is me. And then obviously you got various other bits and bobs here. On top of this, we've also got a mission that we acquired just from doing the trades. So if we head on over to our mission manager right here. Promotion 2. So you get these here. This is the Argon one we've got here. Promotion 2, Friend of the Federation. Rewards associated with the rank of Friend of the Federation. That's the reward we get. You are being promoted by Argon Federation. They'd like to honour the occasion by inviting you to talk with their representative at their headquarters. That serves as two purposes. Number one, it gives you certain rewards. And number two, when you accept it, it actually becomes active. And you'll see here, it actually gives me a line on the floor as well to my faction representative. If you weren't on the station, so if we take the Antigon here and make that one active, and then we got on board a ship, so let's head on board to our ship, Shift D. You'll see here it now gives us a guidance line and directs us to where our representative is, so we know that we have to jump on that jump gate there to get to the representative. However, we want the Argon, so we set this one. We don't have to set it to active, but you can do. So let's go and jump down here. Run up here, pressing the double W. To the teleporter. Faction representative, nice and orange because we got it as a guidance. A little line on the floor again. Telling us where to go. Here we go.
It's good to see you, friend.
Receive rank number 3.
We've been watching your work with great interest and wanted to reward you for it. I'm pleased to present you with a new rank amongst our organization. Of course, this rank comes with great benefits. These benefits are tied to the rank, so if you lose the rank, the benefits go too. But with your record, I'm sure we won't have to worry about that. I hope you find these rewards fit into the work you've done and make the most of them. Oh, and you may also find that certain organizations under our jurisdiction now have interest in you joining their ranks. Once again, thank you for your efforts. We look forward to working with you more in the future. Good luck out there. It's good to see
Okay.
you, friend.
So now we can get a license for Federation Police License. That means that we can do policing in the Argon sector, and they're not going to get pissy with us. So we can do things that can help them and actually gain credit for us or money for us and stuff like that. So that's pretty useful. Right now, we don't want to spend 156,000 credits, however, because we've got better things to purchase on. We go to our map and go to our player information and then go over to our factions and relations. You'll see here, where are we? The Argon, there we go. It actually tells you what you get from the Friend of the Federation. We get the Argon Secret Service membership, Federation Intermediate Module License, Federation Military Equipment License, and Federation Military Ship License. That allows us to purchase different ships. The ones that we didn't have access to previously, so that they were in red, we now have access to them. So that gives us more option. It also allows us to now go to our buy blueprints. It also gives us access to certain modules that we didn't have before. However, we do have access to them because we've already unlocked it. A lot of these we won't be able to afford. A lot of these are a lot of money. And certainly when you come to these build modules, you'll see that these are coming to 247 million. The great thing is they've now made it so that they're all under these nice headings. Now, in 3.3, these weren't. This was just basically one massive list of modules, and it was an absolute pain to get through. Now you can go straight to what you need and get it. So we're going to need a production module. Now, I'd love to get hull parts, but it's 4.5 million for a start. Plus, it's an end product. We have an intermediary product before that, which is our refined metals. So right now, we wouldn't earn as much money with hull parts. You would earn a lot, but you wouldn't earn as much because you'd be buying your refined metals. So what we want to do is we want to get our refined metal production, because that means we take the ore that we currently have that's basically cost us nothing to get and turn it into something that's worth more value. So we'll go ahead and select that. That's selected. We've got about 100k left. There's a couple of other things we need to get. A dock module would be nice, but you can see we can't afford them. They're quite expensive. At the moment, we've got a 1 medium, 6 small basic dock, which means only 1 medium ship at any one time can dock for us. Not too much of a problem now because we're only using 1 trading ship, but when we get our second trading station, we're going to have multiple ships coming back and forward. And yes, we can use 3 dock T-pier. It's a little bit messy and it takes up a lot of space. So we need to start thinking about that. Plus, no large and extra large ships can dock with us. And even though I didn't cover it previously, but drones are required for large and extra large ships and stations that are nearby to pass cargo between. So we don't need drones as well. So it's cutting out the necessity for that. What we do want is this here, the 8 medium standard dock area. That's going to give us plenty of space for other stuff. On top of that, we want storage. We definitely want to get, as soon as possible, the Argon large container storage, which is about just shy of 1 million credits. So we've got our prices now. So what we're looking here, looking at 1.6, 1.7 million, 1.7 million. So when we get 1.7 million, that's when we're going to start getting our trading station. But for now, let's get the basic going. So we've now got refined metal production. So I'm just going to jump to my ship when it loads in. There we go. And now, I'm just going to put my ship, where are we? Fleet Vanguard. I'm just going to tell my ship to deploy, because it's got some resource probes.
The ship will be undocking soon.
We'll get the ship to deploy resource probes for us. Here we go. Plenty of resource probes. Go. And the reason for this is yes, we could set it up as a auto route, but I do think this is going to be good for us if we want to make some purchases as well along the way. Move our miners to a safer location, you know, because at the moment they're in second contact and that place is heavily under fire. There we go, plenty of resource probes there. So that ship's going to crack on and make less noise for me in the background. Next thing, what I want to do is I want to get my managed plot. Here now in 3.3, it used to be that when you clicked on manage plot, it would disappear all the other hexagons, and it used to be an absolute pain to try and do. Thankfully, they got rid of that, so now all you get is just as normal, how you would expect. we're going to need a 2.2. Well, it's a 4x4x4. Realistically, I kind of like a 6x6. Like so. It's an 8x8x8. I'm going to create that plot, and I'm going to place the plot nearby to the jump gate. Okay, so that's quite expensive, so we need to drop it down. So all we do is just drop it down to a manageable price. So we'll hold it at 2.2 because it's just going to cost us an absolute fortune. Actually, can we afford even that? 152,000 credits. Not enough money. 269,000 credits. We're a little bit shy. Okay. Let's just cancel that for a second. Let's just fast forward a little bit until we got a little bit of money, and then we'll come back and we'll start doing it again. Okay, we've now got enough money to buy a license, which we've now done, so we can now continue to our production. So we need refined metals. Now I have a nice design that I normally use, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to design that. Oh, don't zoom too much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get in everything that I need. I'm going to need 2 of these. I'm going to need a connector for the middle of them. And then going to need a line out, and then I'm going to need connectors galore. So let's go ahead. I think I only need just connectors like so. See how many we can get in. Right, let's get this station set up. Right, so this thing I want to set up is this here. Go. You're good there. Then I'm going to rotate this when I press the right button. Rotate. Drag you onto there. And drag all these connectors onto here. And then I want plenty of storage. Now, since the only storage module we've got at the moment is this, all I'm going to do is click that. And then I'm going to copy module. Like so. And then do the same again for below.
We found something out here.
There we go. Now, instead of doing that, what you could have done is you could just literally click on, see how that's anchored, so it's all like lit up, like we did last time. Copy the sequence and then add to that there. Right, that's out the brackets, that's fine. Then all I do is, if I want to expand, is I then put on a vertical on wherever I want to do. So I tend to leave the first one, and then on the rest of them, we're going to go for refined metals. Like so. I don't like clipping. I find if I do that, it's going to clip. So I either rotate it around so it doesn't clip. But since this won't go because it's going to clip everywhere, I'm going to remove that one there. Get a new one in. All I do is just skip one. Like so. It looks nicer. You don't need to do that. You are perfectly fine clipping. It doesn't affect the production. It doesn't affect anything whatsoever. It's just aesthetics. When I look at a station, and I do like to look at my stations sometimes with some nice designs that I've done in the past, I like to have it where they're all like so. And then what I try to do is what I'm going to try and do is if I set this kind of, I'm hoping that's more in the middle, maybe slightly so. There you go. Now, the pivot point is the center of this here. So if you want to go vertically or, higher or lower, basically, vertically, then you're going to have to build it vertically by using the vertical connectors. It's not going to do it by you trying to shift it. It won't shift. Its pivot point is the central axis of the box. So what this is going to do, if you remembered what I said, oh, I'm zooming in and out. If I said from the last one, my basic docs are going to be done first, so I can assign my manager sooner rather than later. I'm going to confirm my module changes so they're done. Now, I can't afford a builder at the moment. We've only got 15k credits, so it's going to be a moment until that's going to start getting built. Plus, we need all the resources for it. But what we can do is we can actually start getting resources for it. If we go on to here, it's going to tell us, so just like it showed us on the internal section, so if I show you here again, plan build, resources needed, so these resources needed, this little bar here will fill up as it's required. they're also shown on this menu here. Exactly the same. So I know I'm going to need 2,089 energy cells. If we get our solar power plant, our subordinate for that, he has missions that he's doing. So he's executing trades and stuff like that. That's set by the commander of the, your manager, basically, of the solar power plant. But what you can do is you can go ahead and transfer words here. So if we want energy cells, so we're going to take 8,000 energy cells. Actually, no, how many do we need? It was about 2,000. So let's get 3,000 so we're not wasting them. There we go. Confirm that. Then I right click that. Trade with. Build. Make sure it's the build one. Build storage. Or you can transfer words with build storage. So that'd probably be easier. Go ahead. And remember, it tells you how many it needs. It only needs 2,089. But we've got 3k. Drop that in there. It's now added that to the bottom of this queue order, whilst keeping what it was originally doing. And then what it'll do is once it's completed that last order that you've added to it, it will then continue to do what its commander has requested of it. Sometimes it can get a little finicky if you give it an order, say, I don't know, 10 sectors away. It'll sometimes sit in that sector and do nothing because it's out of range of the factory. More often than not, it will return to itself, but just bear that in mind. So what I tend to do as a good practice is that I will actually tell it to fly and wait, because I know when it's waiting, because it's got these here. This will be white, and it'll say waiting. And the blue ones means it's holding position for a specific reading. It's docked. Well, actually, this has got absolutely nothing to do, so that's the reason why it's now sat there doing nothing. So actually, sorry, I do apologise. It's going to be blue. It is going to be blue because it's flying and waiting, so it is waiting for it. That's what you're looking for. The white ones are the ones that it's actually doing something. See, it's sat there, so it's docked, telling it what it's doing. So that'll be white if it's waiting for something. We've got another one here actually, so I could have used that one as well, but I forgot to check that. But what I am going to do with this one is once this one's going to basically, so for our refined metals, we're going to need energy cells. So I'm going to set up my repeat order to provide energy cells from our solar power plant over to our factory. That's a short distance, so there's a couple of things we can do. We can restrict how much it's going to carry, or we can try and tell it to do something else in the meantime, so it'll lengthen the delay it's going to have. So for example, it can go back, pick up some more energy cells, sell them to somewhere else. So you can have a ship deliver energy cells to multiple factories that you've got. One of them is going to fill up pretty quick, and we'll just let it fill up. Right, so that is basically the start of our production facility. There isn't a great lot we can do with it just yet, but it's set, it's ready to go. We'll talk more about production and all the things that it has with it in the logistics side of things, the station overview. When that station's built, I wanted to show you how to get your faction rep, your rank, and where to get your blueprints and stuff like that, and show you the effect of that as well in this episode. Next episode, we're going to have a look at what the station can do once it's done, and hopefully set up a few things to line it up so we've got some more internals rather than spending all of the credits we're using to do other things. Well, let me know in the comment section if you're struggling with anything whatsoever. You've got questions, ideas, suggestions, anything whatsoever. Always leave me a comment and I'll get back to you. But until next time, everybody, take care for now. So see you all in the next one. Bye bye for now.